Are you one of those who have no luck at all in getting a BTO? Well, you're not the only one. Many of our young clients approach us asking us what their options are and how they can get started. Now, one of the options is definitely a resale flat. And this does come with some advantages over BTOs, which I'll share along the way. So how do you get started to selecting your resale HDB flat? Firstly, always check your numbers. Finance is really one of the most important things for you to do. You have to submit your housing loan eligibility, you have to get your bank loan IPA before you start the hunt. The reason why is because the numbers may surprise or disappoint you. It can expand or even reduce the options that you may have in the open market. So once your numbers in place, that's where you can start looking into the neighborhood. Number 2, size. Just like what I advised in the BTO video, it's very important for you to know if you will be taking this HDB as a stepping stone or for a long-term stay. Now, if it's a stepping stone, would a 3-room, 4-room or 5-room best suits your needs for the next 5 to 8 years? Number 3, next move. Now, many people move off from the resale HDB after staying for 5 years to take advantage of their age. Well, what do I mean? Firstly, if you got a BTO, there's a very long waiting period. So let's say you're 30 years old, by the time you collect keys, stay in the house for a minimum occupation period of 5 years, you may be already 38 years old. Versus if you got a resale flat at 30 years old and you stay for 5 years, you can exit while you're just 35 years old. This enables you to get a longer loan period for your next property, which also means lower mortgage payments. So for example, if you're 38 years old and you're buying a 2 million property for your next home, you'll be paying a mortgage of $7,790 per month, versus if you're only 35 years old, you'll only be paying $7,380 per month. So if you're planning to start investing in real estate, it is a good idea for you to start younger. Now, point number 4, once you made a decision on the above points that I mentioned, the next thing for you to do is to choose the neighborhood. Now, make sure that the neighborhood that you select has the important amenities that you need. Try to start with somewhere that you're familiar with, close to where your main activities are, or even have good transportation to the major activities like work. If you plan to have kids, are there kindergartens, preschool, primary schools nearby? These are some things you can think about. Now, point number 5. Once you have selected the neighborhood, the next thing to consider is the unit itself. This is something that many people miss out. The advantage that you have getting resale versus BTO is that you can choose your neighbor. You can see if their corridor is messy, you can visit the place a few times to see how it sounds like during the day or night. And if you are sensitive to smoke, for example, you can check for smoking along the corridors as well. Versus a BTO, you have no idea who your neighbors are going to be. After all, you're going to be staying here for 5 years, so it's a good idea for you to check all these things out before you make a commitment. So I hope these tips have been helpful for you. There are, of course, a lot more to look into depending on who you are, where your life stage is, and the neighborhoods that you're looking into. But these are definitely some good basics to get you started. Subscribe to our channel for more property tips like this. I'm Diana from The Property Runway. See you soon!